Welcome back to this Cover Your Assets CYA video. We're going to review the concept of archiving. Now, this is more for advanced users. Anyone is certainly welcome to listen to this, and I'm not saying if you're an average home user you can't or shouldn't use this. But just keep in mind that in general, this will probably apply more towards advanced users. So what is archiving? Well, CYA has the ability to archive, which means it will take a backup profile or snapshot profile, whichever you like to refer to it as, and it will tar up all those files so that they all go into one big file, and then it will gzip it, compress it. And this is good for if you're not ready to remove a backup profile, but you don't need it in, say, the CYA list function. Now, there are two different methods for creating archives. You can archive a profile that already exists. For example, maybe you ran a pre-video card upgrade, and before you upgraded your video card and put in a new, updated the drivers, you went ahead and took a snapshot of what that was what your system was like then. And you're like, well, you know, that was 6 months ago. I don't still have to have that on the list, but just in case, I think I'll hold on to those files. Just in case. So that's one method. The profile already exists. The second method is actually you can create backup profiles and have them archived immediately. And this is script friendly. I repeat, this is script friendly. Now, the final thing to note is you cannot run the CYA space restore command on an archive. You must first decompress it and untar it, which you can do in one command, and put that back into the into the points directory, because it will be in the archives directory. And then you'll be able to see it in the list and do a restore from it. And I'll show you all that. Let's do it. Now, when you're just using it, normal operations, this is not necessary, but I'm going to go ahead just for demonstration. I'm going to cd space into /home/CYA, and I'll ls this. And you'll see here we don't have an archives directory. However, an archives directory will be created once we run it. So let me run CYA space list, and let's say, for example, this pre-up, which is pre-upgrade, we don't need that anymore right now. We're not ready to get rid of it, but we just don't need it in this list, and we don't need it hanging around there all the time. We're tired of seeing it. It's not necessary, but we don't want to get rid of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in CYA space archive. CYA space archive, hit enter. It's going to say action archive. It's going to say enter a backup name to archive. So we're going to enter in pre-up and hit enter. This is now saying pre-up is about to be archived. This will tar and gzip the files. Move file to /home/CYA/archives. It'll create the directory if it doesn't exist. It doesn't in our case. Remove pre-up from list right here. Require manual untarring before restore command on profile, meaning you can't use the restore command until you uncompress it and untar it. So if you want that action, you hit Y. Anything else is considered in or no. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Y. You'll see here that it says archiving pre-up in progress. It's checking for sudo permissions. Go ahead and type my sudo password. It's creating the archives directory, which it has done. And now pre-up has been archived. And then we, of course, get our disclaimer. I'm going to start to read that. Who cares right now, right? So if I clear this and ls this, you will see here we have an archives directory. Now first let me show CYA space list. Notice pre is gone. Pre-up is gone. It's not there anymore. Clear this. And if I go into the archives directory and I ls this, we have our pre-up dash, and then there's a Unix timestamp. There's a VirtualBox machine, and the mouse doesn't always want to cooperate with me. Okay, so that is a Unix time. It always Unix timestamps dash Unix time for whatever the file name is. So if I CYA space list this restore point will get 2 Unix timestamps. It gets kind of long, but you'll know when the restore was done and when the backup, well, the archive of that backup was done. And it is script, well, I'll show you the script way in a minute. So that's how you do that. I'll show you the restore momentarily, but let's go ahead and how would you type this to create a backup And this is the same for scripting. If you were going to script this and run this as a systemd call or a cron tab call or anacron call, this is the command you would use. I'm going to manually type this in, but you could enter that in. So let's say we want to create video card backup because, well, yeah, let's just say we want to create a video card backup. I'm going to go ahead here and type in CYA space keep space name, and then we're going to name our backup video card space, and then I need to add on archive. So again, that's CYA space keep space name space the name of the backup space archive. That archive tag is key. That's going to tell the system, look, create the backup and get rid of, and then put it in an archive and get rid of that directory. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And you can see here it's creating, checking for sudo permissions. We need to create the /video card directory, but that's not going to be left there. That's going to be removed. Backing up boot, backing up root. Now, as with some previous recordings, I mentioned this. The CYA copy you're using will actually back up everything necessary. For simplicity's sake and speeding this up, so I don't have to sit here and wait for this while demonstrating backing up every directory, I have edited this CYA to only back up boot and root. But yours will back up var and lib64 and snap if you have it, and user and etc and all that other. But again, for the sake of this demonstration, only the boot and root directories are being backed up. It's written out the date file, and then, well, we got another checking sudo permissions for some reason, but a little bug there. So now let me go ahead and ls the archives. Notice we have video card here. Video card dash. And if I go up one directory and then ls points, then you'll see we don't have video card. And just so you can see, you can actually do that from in here. If I ls ... and then go to points, I'm able to do that as well. So let me go ahead and clear this, and now let me run that again to show you it's video card or that it's safe. Let's just run the video card again. It's kind of an odd name to give with video card, but let's just run it again to show you that, say that was a script was run and then say you do monthly backups. So, well, let's change this to monthly. So let's say you do monthly backups and you archive the monthly backups because you're like, you know what, I don't need to have that. So you archive this, do monthly, so you're doing the monthly backups. Okay, done. I need to get rid of that little bug there. Doesn't need to check for sudo permissions twice. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead. So that's the first one. Well, here, let me ls this. See here we have the first monthly. So it ends in 2869. Clear that. Let's run the monthly again. So it's like the script's now running it for the second month. And then you'll see it complete. Clear this, and I ls this. And now you can see here we have two monthlies. Or I can actually type in monthly and just get the two monthlies. And I could do it again and again and again and again and again. I'm not going to show that. Okay, so that's doing the backup. You have two methods. Now, how do you restore that? Let's say we want to get this monthly on the list. Say something happens, and we want monthly to appear. Because you want to restore it or something. So that's fine. What we need to do is we need to ungzip or uncompress it, and then untar it. So the command for that is sudo tar. Well, now, of course, you're going to have to watch where your files are. But anyway, sudo space tar. Then you're going to type in hyphen or dash xzf space the name of the file. So we're going to do monthly. Let's see. Well, hold on. Need to ls this because I'm not sure of our options here. So sudo space tar space dash or hyphen xzf monthly. Let's see. Let's choose. Well, we'll choose 90. We'll choose the later one. Now, that would be good enough. If I were to hit enter, then a monthly directory would be put in this archives. But then I'd have to move it. I'd have to then issue the move command and move it into the points directory. We can do that in one go. We can issue -c and then issue, so it's space dash capital C space /home /CYA /points, and then end it with a slash. End it with the slash. So we're specifying the full path to the points directory. So now all I need to do is hit enter, and it should be done. So now if I go to the points directory, you'll see here we have monthly has now been created. And if I do CYA space list, you'll see here monthly is in there, so we could do a restore on that. Now, at some point I may down the line build that in so you don't have to type this in. You could just tell the system what to restore and it would just do it for you. And maybe that's not a bad idea. Maybe I should just go ahead and build that in. But right now, at least at the time of this recording, you have to manually do that. So that might be possible. I tell you what, periodically you can check the GitHub. I'm not sure how much people are going to want to use this. So, and I don't want it to overwrite a directory that's already there. So I could program it to say the directory already exists. Anyway, I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but right now it's good to know how to do it manually. So that's all you issue. Again, that command is, well, we're not in the directory there, but, well, I didn't type in that. Okay, so if we run this command again, well, I'll just type it in, sudo space tar space -xzf, and then we would have to run the command, so we know 90 is it. Then, if we run it here, I have to move it. Here, I'll just show it. So see, now we have monthly here, but then that means we have to sudo move monthly, then I would have to go to points and move it, and it says not an empty directory. So you get that error. So you have to remember to remove it. And in a way that's good because, like I said, I want you manually doing that. So I don't honestly know if I'm going to build that option in to auto do it because this is an advanced feature. And I don't want you to accidentally overwrite something. So, I mean, I could program the script to just say, look, if it does it, it just will say errors out. I can't, the directory's there, and then have you do it. But this is for something that's more really going to be good for companies, I'd imagine. But anyone's certainly welcome to use this. So that's archiving. I'll see you in the next video.